When it comes to changing a lot of the settings on your computer or your slate, there is a catch-all location called Change PC Settings. Now this one is not context sensitive because it's down here on the Charms bar, and if you click on the settings icon you will see Change PC Settings right here. Now notice if I go to the desktop and do the very same thing, get the Charms bar, go to settings, you will see Change PC Settings right here. They're both identical. Now this is kind of the catch-all. Notice we were out here earlier in different parts of the course on personalize for our start screen, our account pictures. But notice we can work with our users out here, our notifications, and what apps show notifications. Notice we can individually turn these on and off if we would like. We can change on search, change the settings on our search functionalities, the apps that are included in our searches, sharing, how the sharing functionality works and the apps that are used to share. Notice I can turn an app on and off for sharing to that particular app. Then there's general settings. Notice date and time, switching between apps. And notice we can determine when we swipe in from the left edge, do I directly want to switch to my most recent app or not? And spelling, language, available storage. Notice I can see how much my apps are consuming on my machine. This will take just a second to run up and see. But there's a lot that can be going on here. And again, just think PC settings for most things. And so you can see how much space I could save by pulling these various apps off. Privacy, I can control my privacy. Devices, these are the various devices that have currently been installed and are resident on the machine. Ease of access, I can turn on and off the high contrast. I can turn on and off a narrator and all those sorts of things. And so this is going to be the same ease of access things you've seen in the past. I can also change my cursor thickness if this is a problem for me to see what's going on. And so no big surprises here. Syncing my settings, whether I want to sync these things up if I'm using a Microsoft Live account. Because if I turn all these on and sign on to a new machine with my Microsoft account, it can take a few seconds for all these things to hit. So I can decide which one of these I want to sync. And then there's Home Group, and then of course down here Windows Update. And I can change Windows updates and so forth, or I can check for updates. Now you have these settings here, but you also need to remember that Windows 8 can also be controlled with group policy, and you also have local group policy. If you hit the Win logo key and the R button, you'll go to the run bar, and if you type gpedit.msc, you can see this will bring up the local group policy editor for your computer, and you can see the various settings that are in here. We actually gone into a couple of these over the course of this particular training course, but not going too deep into this, but just understand that your settings can be affected by group policy in a corporate environment. It can even limit what you see out there in settings. But the bottom line is, for most settings on the PC that are not unique to any one particular piece of functionality, these don't change, and the Change PC Settings is where those things are going to be collected. Okay, so PC Settings is probably the first place to look when you're getting used to Windows 8 for things that you may want to adjust on your computer.